Today is the first game of the season against Crystal Palace. Hello everyone, I'm Dan. Welcome back to the Director of Football Challenge Leicester City FM21 series here on Reesy FC. And yes, this is episode 2 today, and we begin our Premier League campaign away to Crystal Palace, which is a tricky place at Selhurst Park to begin the season. Leicester don't particularly do great. We've done not too bad over the last couple of years, but we're not normally very good in London as it is. But Selhurst Park is a bit of a bogey ground for us, shall I say. We've gone through pre-season. We've had a relatively okay pre-season. We've only picked up the one win, but we've got the tactics tweaked slightly during these games, so I'm feeling a bit more confident going into this game than I did after seeing the first couple of friendlies. That's for sure. But let's dive straight into it then and start with the transfer news here at Leicester City. If we go over here, just to show you, a guy that's coming in, the Director of Football, has signed. Weirdly, though, he doesn't join until the 2nd of January, which is bizarre, on loan from Borussia Dortmund. And that is Giovanni Reina, who is a left winger from Borussia Dortmund. Bit of an odd one. I mean, I'd have understood it if he had come in and at the start of the season, but to join us on loan in January just doesn't really make too much sense in my opinion. He's only 17 years old. It's a bit weird as well to bring in such a young loanee. He's got very good stats though, you've got to admit, looking very good. He's going to push Harvey Barnes on that left hand side, and James Maddison as well, possibly, if we decide to play him out on the left as well. But he has got good attributes. He's quick, pacey, his dribbling's very good as well. Good first touch as well, good free kick taker as well. Passing's brilliant. His work rate, which to get into my side, work rate has got to be good. And so he does look like he'll fit the bill here at Leicester. It's just such a bizarre one, joining on loan in January, when if we're going to get him in now. No idea why that is the case. If we go to the transfer history here, we can see the other guys we have brought in. So of course, this is out of my control. Director of Football save completely out of my control, as you know. Since I've been at the club, then it'll be around here after Genghis Under. So all of these boys that have been brought in here: Sapakua, Samson, Apaya, Gokhan, and Potop. Who knows? These are all for the under-23s, essentially. Some of them have really bizarre signings. Look, I don't see the point in signing these. Has the potential to be a championship player in the future. Why bring him in? I don't get that. I'm questioning the recruitment already at the club. Potential to be a League One player. Again, why get him in? Apaya as well. I mean, he has got a good potential. He's a good one. Potential to be a Premier League player in the future. So he is somebody that could turn out decent for us in an inverted winger. So he fits the system here in my Leicester City system anyway. Gokhan as well. We don't know much about him at all. And Potop. So again, poor potential. Potential to be a championship player. I don't understand the recruitment, the ideas around most of these signings. Apart from, was it Gokhan, the good one? Must have been a Apaya. I don't understand some of these signings. It's very, very weird indeed. If we look down here on the transfers out as well, Luke Thomas went out on loan to Plymouth for the season. He's a good young up and coming fullback. Someone that we'll probably be using later on in the series, maybe next season or the final season in our third one. He's a good breakthrough left back this season for Leicester. He is a backup player, currently back up to James Justin at left back, or Castagna, whoever they play out at left back these days. But he's got good attributes already for a 19-year-old, and a year on loan at Plymouth. Where are the Plymouth? Are they in League One? They are a League One side. A year in League One should do him nicely and should really progress his development, and hopefully we can use him. It'd be nice to use one of the youth players for sure. Daniel Amati, he's facing us today. He went to Crystal Palace for £12.25 million. Now, I think that's a fantastic bit of business for Leicester. £12.25 million on 55 grand a week as well. He's a very steady Eddie kind of player. He's nothing special. He'll do the. That sounds really harsh when I say nothing special. He's a good player. He's solid. He's not a standout player, is what I'm trying to say. But so he's a good fit for Crystal Palace. He was not going to be anywhere near my team here at Leicester. Literally going to be used possibly in the League Cup, maybe. I don't know. But to lose him, I'm not too bothered. A couple of players gone out on. This guy's gone to QPR actually. So, I'm not even going to even attempt that. Jacob, whoever, goalkeeper, has gone out to. Not gone out on loan. Rather, he's gone permanently to Queen's Park Rangers. He's joined their under-23 side. For £31,500 in the fee that could rise to £180,000. And Mert Gökhan, the guy we bought in, has gone straight out on loan to Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient are also in League... Oh, no, not. They're in League 2. I thought they were in League 1. So he's gone to League 2 for some first-team football as well. So that is pretty much the transfers we have. Great news, a good bit of business by the club this summer is Youri Tielemans. He has signed a new deal at Leicester City, a new 5-year deal. The contract's worth £34 million. So to get him to sign up for another 5 years is fantastic. And the first thing I did was look straight in here to see if there is a release clause in his contract, and there absolutely isn't. Of course, it's still out of my control. It's up to Leicester and John Rudkin and Top, the chairman, what they want to accept for a player, what they deem good value for Tielemans when they do eventually want to sell him. But the good news is he's signed a new 5-year deal with no release clause, so the club's hands aren't tied when someone does trigger that release clause in his contract. As I mentioned in the previous video, Leicester's model is to sell a big player every summer. Hopefully Tielemans isn't that player next summer. We've lost Ben Chilwell this summer, so hopefully that model kind of, we don't lose a big player next year, especially when I'm the one that can't actually physically replace that player myself. Let's have a look at pre-season then. So we started at home to Club Brugge. Now it wasn't a great game. We lost 2-1. We went 1-0 down in 14 minutes. Çağlar Soyuncu equalised in the 16th, and then we give away a very soft penalty, I must say, and we lost that one 2-1. Things were better against Hull. This was actually a cracking game. I know I'm going a bit too much into friendlies here, but we can't look at the details. Why can't we look at the details of that? Well, that was a terrific game. You can just kind of see it here. We was 3-0 down against Hull City, League 1 Hull City. 3-0 down. They are League 1, aren't they? They are. As you can see, I don't really know too much who's in what league. Teams are just getting promoted and relegated left, right and centre. I lose track of where they are. So we're 3-0 down to a League 1 side, which of course wasn't great at all. We was playing the 4-3-3 system. It didn't work out for us. We changed it up to the 4-2-3-1. And Cengiz Ünder had an absolute fantastic game. He scored twice and he assisted Vardy for the third. It was a cracking game for a friendly. It really was. And it was really good to see us fight back in that game because it was a dreadful first half. But stats-wise, we absolutely obliterated them second half. And obviously to make that turn around 3-goal deficit was very good indeed. We did beat Osasuna 1-0. Very good performance there. As you can see, the idea, when I mentioned about tweaking the tactics, I tweaked it slightly just to make us a little bit better at the back, a bit more balanced, and it worked out for Osasuna. And the game against Dusseldorf as well. Against Udinese, we played a complete different side because of people on international duty, so I'm not reading too much into conceding 2 goals. As you can see, Jakubovic. Look at our back four that day was all Brighton, and Ndidi, Fuchs and James Justin. So a right midfielder at right back, a defensive midfielder at centre back. We know he can fill in there. It just wasn't ideal. Left back at centre back, and you can argue a right back at left back. So it was all over the place. Mendy and Chowdhury in the same team. Gray in there as well, and Damari Gray has been he really wants to leave the club, and I'm not bothered if Damari Gray leaves, if I'm honest. He's a good player, but he's not a part of my plans here at Leicester. He does desperately want to leave. We've had bids in from, and it should say here, shouldn't it? Well, he's wanted by 14 clubs apparently, but basically had bids rejected for him. One was RB Leipzig, I do know that. I'm not too sure the others. There wasn't any Premier League clubs, it was all foreign clubs that were in for him. Then he comes the director of football rejected all of these offers. Well, I think we should have just let him go, to be honest, because he is a fringe player. And there were offers for around like £12 million. Leicester have just sold him in January for like £2 million, I think it was, to buy Leverkusen. So we should have snapped £12 million up, if I'm honest. Gray then came to us. We had a meeting, and he said literally, boss, I want to leave. And I just said to him, it's the way he went about it as well. His attitude absolutely stinks. And I said, well, you're going to have to rot in the reserves, because he was basically demanding to leave, or he's going to run his contract down. So I said, right, if you want to do that, you're going to rot in the reserves. Next thing, I had to play him in a friendly, and he got injured. So he will be rotting in the reserves, don't you worry. But let's get straight into today's game then. It is away to Crystal Palace. Palace are going to play a 4-4-2 lineup. That's what's expected anyway. So Zaha out on the right, Eze out on the left. Two former Leicester boys in Jeffrey Schlupp, obviously a title winner, and Daniel Amate at right back as well. Now, so what we're going to do here is, I was toying with the idea of playing a diamond, then I saw the 4-4-2 lineup, and I thought, well, do you know what? I don't want to expose James Justin or Castagna. I think it'll be James Justin. I don't want to expose him to Wilfried Zaha. So if we do have Harvey Barnes on a bit of more of a support role rather than attacking as an inverted winger, he can come back and help stick tight to Wilfried Zaha, shall we say, to stop him producing his magic, because of course he is their main threat. So this is the side we've gone with. It's Kasper Schmeichel in goal. It's James Justin at left back, Çağlar Soyuncu, Fofana, Castagna, Ndidi and Tielemans in midfield, Harvey Barnes, Ayoze Perez in the number 10 role, Cengiz Ünder at left wing on the inside forward role, attacking to the pressing forward of Jamie Vardy. We've got him on support role, so he's very isolated in them friendlies, so we've dropped him back on a support role just to see if he gets a little bit closer to the rest of the side, and just hopefully he's not isolated so much. And Johnny Evans is suspended, hence why he's not in today, because he got sent off against Manchester United at the end of last season in real life, so he is suspended for today. Let's get straight into it then. So 6 players, not familiar with the shape, so there's a bit of time. We played it as much as we could over that pre-season break, so over the pre-season fixtures rather. So hopefully they'll get familiar with it sooner rather than later. No gesture today. I mean, there's not really good things to say, is there? Go out there and impress me? I mean, that just seems a bit weird, isn't it? Your first team talk, go out there and impress me. Not an ideal one there. Oh, we've really got to do this. We're going to send the assistant to that. I must sort them responsibilities out so we don't have to do any of their meetings whatsoever. Let's check these. I told you I like to go on comprehensive in friendlies, and it is back to key highlights. So we're underway here. Our first Premier League game of the save away at Crystal Palace. It's going to be a tough one. Vardy plays it out to Justin. Justin into Cengiz Ünder. He turns. He's got the opportunity to strike. It is blocked. Ünder back to Justin. Justin now into the box here. He's looking to buy himself a penalty, I think. He needs a bit of support, boys. No one there. And Palace are going to do what Palace do best and try and hit us on the counter-attack. Eze. I'm a real big fan of Eze. If you followed me on last year's game, I'd signed Eze for Blackburn and he was tremendous. Eze strike, he hits the bar, and Leicester finally get it away with James Justin. And that is the threat that Eze brings you. He's done very well at Palace in real life as well, hasn't he, since moving from Queen's Park Rangers. I hope it's Queen's Park Rangers, or I sound like a right idiot, don't I? James MacArthur to Milivojevic. So flat 4-4-2, you don't often play against this in Football Manager. And it's quite... Yeah, it's actually, you don't. I played non-league with Dartford, if you follow me on Twitch, currently in the Vanarama National League. You do play a lot against a lot of 4-4-2, and you very rarely play it, even in the Football League, especially... Oh, there's a deflected goal. Yuri Tielemans has scored to make it 1-0. But as I was saying, it's very rare. It's probably the only time against Palace and Burnley that we will play against a 4-4-2. And lovely goal there. I've got a sneeze coming. I don't know when it's coming, so if I'm stumbling a bit, it's because there's a sneeze lingering here, and I'll edit out the sneeze, so don't worry, you won't hear a big sneeze down the microphone. But it's kind of putting me off my flow a little bit. It's like, am I going to sneeze yet? Am I going to sneeze yet? But no, I have not sneezed just yet. Castagna with the throw. It's a good start for us to go 1-0 up here at Palace. They are a tricky customer to deal with. Ünder on the ball now. I like him as an inside forward. He really gets in. He's got a great left foot on him, and yeah, the idea is to get him close to Vardy, and Vardy's in, and Vardy's made it 2-0. Is VAR going to have something to say about that? Apparently not. Lovely ball through. Who put that ball through? Was it Yuri Tielemans? If it was, I am delighted, because I've given him a personal instruction to hit the direct balls. especially trying to get Vardy in behind. And that is exactly what he done. Lovely ball from Tielemans and a fantastic strike from Jamie Vardy, who gets his first goal of the season. I'm a little bit worried about Jamie Vardy this season because in pre-season he wasn't really effective at all. So I'm glad Yuri Tielemans got the ball to him there, and Vardy does what Vardy does best in taking the very few chances he gets. He only needs one chance in the game usually, and he's had one chance in this game today, and he's absolutely taken it. We've got a free kick here. Tielemans pings the ball in. Vardy's in again to make it 3-0. This time he is offside, and that would have been lovely, wouldn't it, for him to get a brace in this first half. Palace players are absolutely moaning. What? It must be for offside. Yeah, apparently it is offside. VAR have disallowed the goal. I've only had it once where VAR have actually allowed the goal. That was in my Creator Club save in the MLS. Lovely ball in from Tielemans, and Vardy peeled off, but his run was too early and he did stray just offside. Why are we seeing the latest scores of friendlies, which is bizarre, but that's a fantastic first half indeed. So let's tell them not to get complacent. Let's do that. And what I'm learning to do as well is out of possession, just get a bit tighter just after half time when you're leading, because that can help massively. And we're going to fix this. We don't want to see friendlies, we want to see the Premier League scores, don't we? There we go. Liverpool beat Manchester City in the early kickoff, whether it's the Friday night game or earlier today, I'm not too sure, but they did win 3-0 at the Etihad, which is a fantastic win for them. Goal kick here for Palace, goes long, looking for Wilfried Zaha, who does win the header, and this is worrying. Batshuayi is in, Batshuayi's there, and he chips it and it hits the bar. What an effort from Batshuayi, and that's the second time Palace have hit the woodwork in this game. We should be looking at making a change. We're at the 65th minute. There's going to be some tired legs out there. There's a lot of very good performances out here for sure. Ndidi and Tielemans are bossing it there. I don't really want to make a change there. We might bring on James Maddison. I don't know if he's fit enough yet. It might be good to give him some minutes eventually. Under's not having the best game. I mean, he's still having a good game, isn't he? We're going to put Mark Albrighton on that out there. We know he's a very good winger. He'll come back as well and help defend with Castagna. So Albrighton will come out there for the work rate. I think maybe for now this will probably do. I don't want to make too many changes at the moment because things are going well. But Palace have shown signs that they're not done yet. They're still within a shout of this game. Jeffrey Schlupp with the throw to Batshuayi. They've got some good players in there, Palace, haven't they? It is surprising sometimes when you see them struggling. They do go on weird things in real life, weird runs where they'll go on a mad winning run. Will be in the top half of the table, and then all of a sudden they're back down fighting against relegation. They are a very funny side, aren't they, Crystal Palace? So we are going to make another change now. And I think what we might do is give Jamie Vardy a little rest. I'm going to put Kelechi Iheanacho on, give him a little go. I might bring on Dennis Pratt as well for Ayoze Perez. Perez has had a great game today. Fair play to him in the number 10 role. It might have shocked a few people, me playing Ayoze Perez, but I made no secret about it. A lot less fans are against Ayoze Perez. I rate him. The work rate he gives you in the side, on and off the ball, he is a good asset to have in the team now. Wilfred Ndidi picks it up. Castagna into Tielemans, back to Ndidi. This is good football from Leicester. Pratt, Iheanacho, Barnes back to Tielemans. Plays it back to Barnes. Lovely one-touch football, and Kelechi Iheanacho has scored. He's just come onto the pitch, and what a way to announce yourself and say, Jamie Vardy, it's not all about you, son. And Kelechi Iheanacho scores. Lovely, well-worked goal from the Foxes, and that is brilliant, isn't it? Barnes, Tielemans, little tippy-tappy football. We've got them to work the ball into the box, and that's why, because we've got finishers like Kelechi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy around. Give them a chance in the box and they will score. It's Crystal Palace 0, Leicester City 3. Quite safe to say I'm going to drop some praise on the boys now, and as it stands we're top of the table, ending the series now. Premier League champions, who knows? I'm not going to get ahead of myself. It's only the first day of the season, but that is a delightful victory. Crystal Palace 0, Leicester City 3. Fantastic stuff, and we're going to tell them that is a great win. And do we really have to do these? Let's just send the assistant. I really need to fix that and get rid of the press conferences. So of course we didn't have Johnny Evans in there, so Fofana and Soyuncu both got a clean sheet on their first time in playing together, which is fantastic stuff. Let's mind you, let's have a look at the table first. Leicester City are top of the league. We might as well show you it, because we don't know how long that will last, but we're top of the league. Fantastic start indeed. Let's nip across to the schedule and see when you will come back. We've got a big tricky game against Wolverhampton Wanderers next followed by a game away at Manchester City. In between that, we've got an EFL third round cup game. But what we'll do, we'll come back probably won't go too far ahead. Maybe Everton, what's that, about 6 games time? I think the next one will be Everton at home in the Premier League. It'd be nice to have one at the King Power, won't it? So Everton at home it is, and that'll be they'll be looking to finish, probably have the same objectives of us in finishing in and around the top 6. So that should be an interesting game for sure. It'll be a tough test against Everton. So guys, if you did enjoy that, please make sure you leave a like on the video. Let me know down in the comments how you think we will do this season. It was a great start away to a tricky Crystal Palace side. To win 3-0 was superb. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well for more Football Manager videos. Make sure to hit the little bell to be notified every time I upload a video. And thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time here on the channel. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.